parempaa tavaraa saa. En kerro. Pystystä parempaa tavaraa saa. Varustelekasta.
Alright, this is a YouTube page which is mainly in Finnish, but this is Varusteleka, okay? And this company is the biggest distributor of military surplus items in Europe. They're based in Helsinki in Finland. Alright, I'll click on their website here. Okay, so there's their website, and they just got a really good online store. Have a lot of stuff, but they have a lot of the European stuff, so they have stuff like Swiss Army Gators, European old school military packs, just a lot of the stuff you don't see in Australia. Obviously we're probably the end of the supply chain when it comes to these kind of items, and also as far as military surplus is concerned, the Australian Army now routinely destroy most of their military surplus items. So quite often in Australia, these kind of things, the prices you pay for it isn't really worth it. I know military surplus isn't everybody's cup of tea, but occasionally you do get really, really good bits of gear, and especially if you like old school gear. Do you know what I mean? If you want something like, here's an old canteen, Italian Army, if you want something like that, it's old school Gators, backpacks, canvas backpacks. There's not really anything else out there really. You can't really get the hiking equipment that was around in that time, so the military surplus is the only way to go really. But they're a great shop, great selection. Obviously a lot of it's not going to be of interest to people in bushcraft that much, like helmet cover, right? But a lot of the items are really, really nice. So what I did is I organised a bulk buy. So when I researched the company, I found that they put a flat rate for shipping, okay? So it was like about $40 flat rate, and it didn't matter what you bought. If you bought, one rucksack or 20 rucksacks, you kind of got hit with this flat rate of $40, all right? So I thought it was a great opportunity for a bulk buy, and that's what I done. So I'm on the Bushcraft Oz forum, okay? If we just go there, it's Bushcraft Oz, which is probably about the best bushcraft forum in the world, really, in my opinion. I'm a moderator on that forum, so obviously as a moderator, I'm always trying to bring things to the forum, unlock useful resources for people who are there, get them good deals and that kind of thing. So I just cherry picked the gear from the shop and said, hey guys, look, if we split the international shipping, it makes a lot more sense, and cherry picked the gear, tried to pick things that weren't going to cause any issues with customs, which is another problem we have here in Australia. And it was a very, very successful bulk buy. A lot of people put their hands up, and I got the guys some pretty decent gear that was relatively cheap, and everybody seemed pretty happy, and there was no major problems. So I'm just going to go in the shed. I'm going to take you through the gear I got from this shop. I have to say it's spot on in terms of price, shipping, everything. Absolutely top job from this company. And the reason for doing this video is just that this might be a useful resource for some of you guys who are out there in the bushcraft community. You might be in another forum or another group, and this might be something that you might want to look into. The gear is always changing. Being military surplus, you might click on now, and some of the items I'm about to show you may no longer be available, but there'll probably be alternatives. But I'll just go in the shed and I'll take you around what I got, okay? Okay, so I'll just take you through some of this gear that I've bought for this bulk buy. I have to say, I'll show you some of these items and I'll flash up what they cost. I'm quite impressed with the quality of the gear, really. Everything is as described or better. This isn't really intended to be a full review. I may do full reviews on the channel in future. This is just kind of like show and tell, and it'll give you an idea of what to expect from this shop if you wanted to buy stuff. I would recommend it. I think the prices were great. you know, customer service, shipping, everything was, you know, spot on. Really, I can't fault them.
These are Swiss
Absolutely
Army
fantastic. These worked out about $8 a pair. All right, so it's a pretty good deal. This was obviously one of the more popular items on the bulk buy. You know, it's just a very, very basic old school gaiter. Does the job. It's very cheap. So obviously it's a good option. If, you know, even if you wanted to upgrade and get a really good pair of gaiters, you know, something like Gore-Tex, something like a Sea to Summit or a MacPack gaiter, but you just wanted something as a stopgap, you know, for $8, you know, you can't really complain. They just absolutely look like they've been made yesterday, you know. Very, very pleased with them. That's a great buy. Down here, this is just a couple of first aid kits, basic first aid kits made by the company Miltech. You know, they do a mix of stuff. Some stuff's genuine military issues, some of it's sort of companies like you know, Miltech and Helican and Snugpack and those kind of things. These sleeping mats were very, very popular, right? These are West German Bundeswehr sleeping mats, and the reason these sleeping mats were so popular is they fit inside this rucksack. This is a German mountain rucksack. This wasn't part of the bulk buy, but this is sold in the Bushcraft Oz store, the store that's attached to the forum. So a lot of the boys had bought this rucksack and they wanted the mat to go inside it. So this is how the mat goes inside. And it actually works out quite well because this is a frameless pack. So it gives the pack a little bit of structure, you know. So if you're going to use the backpack for an overnighter, you got like a little sleeping mat that's sort of built in. So quite a crafty little bit of design, really. Okay, so this is the M39 rucksack, Swedish M39. Okay, so obviously this is quite an old rucksack, dates from the 1940s or 1950s. It's an A-frame rucksack. Okay, this is very much almost a design classic in the world of rucksacks. Very similar to the Bergen, the Norwegian Bergen of the same kind of era. Has quite an unusual harness system. You have these suspenders that come down and hang off a belt. Just something I was very, very interested in trying myself. You know, just personal interest. I mean, to be honest, I really, really don't need another rucksack this size. It's just I'm very interested in rucksack designs and, you know, different ways that rucksacks have been you know, built over the years or designed, and I've never really tried an A-frame rucksack before, so I was just very, very keen to give this a spin. And this was relatively cheap. I mean, it was about, I think it was over $30 just. I have seen these go online for well over $100, you know what I mean? And the condition is very good. It has been reconditioned a little bit. These leather straps are relatively new. It was sold as used but in serviceable condition, and since this dates back to, you know, about the 1940s, you know, sort of like Second World War issue, I mean, it's in pretty good shape, you know. This leather will need a little bit of conditioning, but I mean, it's all there, all works, you know. This is just a little Kurska cup that was part of the bulk buy as well. I've just put that on there. But I'll show you this one as well. Now, this is a very, very, very unusual rucksack. I have to say I've seen nothing like this. Okay, this is a Russian rucksack. It's called I'm never quite sure how you're supposed to pronounce it. Let me look at the docket. Vesha Vesha, that's probably wrong, but this is a Russian rucksack used by the Russian military. This design of rucksack goes way back to the days when they were fighting Napoleon. You know, it's basically a potato sack with, you know, two straps on it. These straps here are on the side, and it's decided to put a grey coat or a blanket over the top like that, and then the sort of harness sort of ties on the top. That is just a very, very unusual design. One of the boys in the forum wanted this, so yeah, I ordered it for him. I'm not entirely convinced on it myself, to be honest, but I mean, it's a very, very interesting design, you know. Very basic rucksack. What I've noticed, because I've got a little bit of Russian gear and I've got a little bit of Swedish and Swiss gear, I have to say the quality on the Russian gear isn't quite as good. You know, the stitching is a lot rougher, you know. I mean, you can just tell if we get a little bit close there, you know, it's very rough, you know. So you see how it goes with it. I mean, but that's how it was built, that's how it's made, do you know what I mean? And they kind of tell you that on the website, they give you the lowdown, you know. Really bizarre rucksack, really interesting. It'd be interesting to see how he uses, how he goes with it. I don't know how it would handle any more than a few kilograms though. But like I say, it's just basically like a potato sack with a couple of straps on it, little more than that. You know, no lid, no storm collar, nothing. It's very bizarre. Okay, I'll just show you this one. I mean, this is a good example how you can really save yourself some money. I mean, this is a Swedish Army shirt. You can see the 3 crowns there. And I mean, this is very similar to, you know, the 511 tactical shirts you see a lot on the online stores, sort of like on the Bushcraft online stores, you know, things like the Bushcraft store and Going Gear and shops like that. And you know, a 511 tactical shirt, you know, you're talking $50, $55, something like this. I mean, I think this was $11, you know. And just for, you know, generally getting out and doing bushcraft and bushwalking, you know, that's obviously a very useful style of shirt. You know, so I mean, what can you say? That's quite a massive saving, and it's a really well made piece of gear. This came brand new in the packaging and everything, you know. Just a couple of different types of shelter equipment just to finish off the video. Dutch Army bivy bag, you know, sort of like pretty decent bivy bag. Again, pretty decent price on it as well. Gore-Tex, you know, what can you say? Obviously you can spend over $200 on a Gore-Tex bivy bag. And over here is a couple of Russian tarps. This is like a more old school type of shelter. This is a half shelter, so you can wear it as a rain cape or use it as a tarp. I think you can, so there's a way you can rig them together to make a sort of a tent as well. So, you know, that's pretty cool if you're into old school gear. So I mean, there you go, this is just a general look, all this different type of equipment that I've got for a very reasonable price from the other side of the world. And you know, I mean, I'm just posting this, it might, you know, be of interest to other people in the bushcraft community. You know, I'm no affiliation to this company. I just think they're doing a great job. They've got some really interesting products. Obviously it's not going to be to everybody's tastes, but I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are going to find it potentially quite interesting, quite useful. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.